Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's such an exciting day, and we are celebrating. Dr. Sean, this is amazing time that we have that we can truly celebrate a major accomplishment. And I know, because I understand some of your family background, that your family is going to be celebrating with you as well. And
Yes.
I want to introduce everybody today. This is Dr. Sean I got Mohtashami.
Mohtashami, yes, you got it.
Got down to the last
It's a
part.
mouthful.
Yes, it is. Dr. Sean, we're celebrating you today to be able to bring this accomplishment to the fore. But we also have Stephen Roll and Julianne O'Connor, who have been very instrumental in the background, helping you to bring this book to the world. I know that you're the founder of the Forum Institute, and that you have a great experience in dental implant surgeries and IV sedation. And there's a lot that you do with your Forum Institute to teach dentists how to be successful in their practice and where it starts. So the background with this, Dr. Sean, can you give us a little background on you and how this book came to be, but how you started out in this journey?
Well, thank you for having me, Becky, and thanks for my team that's joined us on this Zoom call. I really appreciate everybody. So my background, I've been practicing dentistry for over 25 years, and dentistry is such a wide range of techniques and started off as just a regular dentist. But as I went through my career, I realized that I want to commit myself to excellence. So I kept learning more. I kept taking a lot more continuing education courses until I got into surgical procedures, implant surgery. And at that point, I really found my love in dentistry. Uh, and ever since, it's been great. It's been about 15 years where I dedicated my career to implants and what we call all-on-4, full arch surgeries, where we change patients' lives in a matter of less than 24 hours. And that's what we really focus on at Forum Institute. Dentists usually learn the basic dentistry in dental school, but when they come out, they have a lot of challenges in so many aspects, the clinical side of it and the business side of it, where bringing the two together is challenging for them, for a lot of them. And so, about 5 years ago, because I've gone through all the mistakes, I've made all the mistakes that there is to make. I've learned all the little details of the business side and the clinical side of it. So I figured, why not bring all of that together? The clinical side of the implant surgery and the business side of it, and the team coaching and everything that really is required to have a successful dental practice, bring all of that together and create this teaching facility where we call 4M Institute, and teach to my colleagues, save them years and years of hustle. And so that's where 4M Institute came about. And then I kept getting this question from so many doctors that how did I do it? How did I get where I am today? And how did I bring it all together? The business side of it, the personal side of it, and the clinical side of it. So I figured, well, I guess it's time to write a book at this point. So I can share my journey and share my story. And with the help of my team, Julianne and Stephen and Stefan, we were able to bring it all together. It's been a great journey, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm really excited today.
Thank you for sharing. Stephen, share a little bit about this journey that you've been on with Dr. Sean and how it all began as far as your connection together.
Sure. So it's really been a true collaboration. It's been a joy for me to sit in interviews with Dr. Sean and just hear him share stories of growing up in Iran, coming to America. My wife happens to also be from Iran, so there was something very special about that. But I also just really love the way that Dr. Sean's spirit is so generous and was so open to having a collaboration with other authors. So it's really been great.
Very good, interesting. And Julianne, what is the role that you've played through this journey?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Dr. Sean is like my brother now at this point. I don't even know. We have been working together for, wow, a long time now, since the Institute was dirt. And we met, at a leadership camp forever ago, and I've watched his journey, and it's been incredible. And honestly, this book project was just absolutely a no-brainer, in my opinion, because he has such a story behind him. And then also the collaboration, this wouldn't have happened without you, Becky, without Stephen, without Steve Sperry, and then Dr. Sean being vulnerable enough to actually open up for the project so that people could be inspired by it. It's just too easy for people to write a book on how to, and they can, tell everybody what to do, but they don't always share like what they've overcome and what they've stumbled on and what they're still maybe even processing right now. And Dr. Sean's been willing to do that. So it's been an awesome, interesting journey, right? And it's been not always easy, even just doing this book. There have been times we've all been, trying to figure out where's this going, what are we doing? And now it's here and it's beautiful. And we're already seeing the feedback of how it's changing lives. So it's really a great process.
What's remarkable about this book is the four quadrants of the book that it is separated into, you as a person, and that's the first and foremost, and that's speaking to all of us, the you and all of us, and our journey. And the beauty of the book and the way that it has been written is storytelling, because without storytelling, we lose the connection with others. And storytelling is probably one of the most vital aspects of bringing a book to the world. Without storytelling, we can give facts and figures, we can do all those things, but if you don't weave in the storytelling to help connect the hearts to where they see how it can be applied, then that's when you start drawing in the people that will read this book and gain so much from it. But in starting with you, that, because the book is about your people that in your practice, it's about your patients. And there's some really remarkable pictures in your book of your patients that you've worked with. Let's start with the subject of you, this journey, and you mentioned it in the first of this conversation. It does start with us as individuals. When we make a decision, we're going to be successful in life. It starts with us. Tell us about your journey with that.
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to be raised in a family of where my father was so hardworking, and he pretty much instilled in me all the qualities that one person needs to be successful: dedication, hard work, and everything else. And so I thought it would be important to share that, because so many of us forget that it starts with you. You are the building block of your own success. And if you don't put those things in place and you try to skip all of that and everybody focuses on the business, you're really missing the whole point. So we were able to kind of be able to put that in perspective, that it does start with you. Once you have the initial building block of everything that's needed for success, and then it becomes your people, your team, and then it moves on to your patients and so on. So that's where that came into play, which worked out really well.
That's awesome. And in the storytelling about your patients, the case studies that you shared, and actually had some really wonderful testimonials in the book of your practice as it is now and how you developed it, and with the implants, dental implant surgeries and IV sedation. Tell us how that journey came about. Tell us what happened to make that happen, to learn what you learned and bring it to the world.
So, again, going back to you at some point have to commit yourself to excellence. And once you commit yourself to excellence, then the rest will come. You build trust, you build loyalty, and a foundation for your business and for your people. And in return, your patients can see that. So it really started from there. I committed myself to excellence years ago. and I would not stop. I have this saying that says the road to excellence is endless, and still trying to get there every day. Want to be better than the day before. So by doing so, I just kept learning, trying new things. I was never afraid of failure, let's say, because that's how you learn, really. Tried so many different ways, so many different things, and it finally all came together to where it required experience, it required some investment, it required a great team to be able to put a team together. So I had to be a good leader to do that. Once I put all that together, we were able to create the 4M Dental Implant Center, 4M Institute in Long Beach, California, where it's the mothership of our centers. We have a great surgical center there. And it really all started from there. We saw the results, how patients would come in and they would have the wow factor and they would love seeing what we do. And changing lives just became our everyday really process. And we do it every single day. It's amazing how many lives we've changed, not just through patients on one at a time, but also through the Institute where we teach the other doctors, and then now they can change lives. So now we have really expanded our horizon in so many ways.
And blessed many people in the process.
Yes, for sure.
Stephen, how did you come to meet Dr. Sean, and what's been your journey of even self-growth through this process?
Well, I have to tell you, well, there's two sides to that. One, Julianne is the reason. Julianne is the one that changed my life by introducing me to Dr. Sean, and I truly mean that. It's been an incredible 2.5, 3-year journey. The other part of the answer is, if I can just be honest, there are lots of things that I don't do well, and I don't have the self-discipline that Dr. Sean has. So as I was working on the book, especially in the U section, and I haven't ever told Dr. Sean this, there were times that I would just really be stopped in my tracks, and I would then take that and work on it and say, okay, how can I be better in that? And so forever, I will be indebted to Dr. Sean for that, for sure.
No, thank you, Stephen.
I concur. He challenges people in a whole different way, on a whole different level. And I'll just share my personal journey on this. Is he causes fears to come up for you. He challenges your own self-worth without him even realizing he's doing that. I think that he presses people to such a degree that they really have to find their own inner drive, and if they don't, they cannot hang in his arena. And in order to do that, we really have to figure out what matters to us personally, which is part of what I love about this book, is that it's addressed, that we have to, if we want to sustain this, we have to be able to know what is our own personal plight in all of this. And because it's hard when you're driven by somebody who is such a high achiever, and you have to raise your own bar. So Stephen, thank you for sharing that true story.
Thank you, guys.
And the chapter, or the section in your book on the team that you put around you, not just the team, but those that work with you, work as your whole practice working together. You want to impact their lives, and so you also challenge. You don't just answer their questions, you make them think, and you help them to achieve to greatness as well, which is really part of the whole key of understanding the success of anything in life, truly. But surround yourself with those that are leaders, and surround yourself with those that really challenge us to expand our own little way of thinking and our own way of life, but also giving other people the opportunity to grow and succeed in life as well, so that you lead by example. And we totally appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much. I have to say that in this day and age, with the high-paced life that we all have, it's so easy to forget the power of gratitude. And I'm so grateful for all the people that are around me, that I'm surrounded with, including obviously Julianne and Stephen. I could not do it without these people. So I'm extremely grateful.
Wonderful. Well, this whole week has been a time of celebration. Your book is definitely in bestseller, and we've gone all the way from to hot new release. It's a top new release. At first it was a hot new release, and now it's a top new release. Pretty amazing. And you are a best-selling author, and
Oh, wow.
wonderful to see how. And we have our main launch on Friday, which I know you're going to be in an event and speaking at this event. So this is a time of celebration because this is a huge accomplishment. And for those that watch this video, we'll have the link associated with it where to pick up this book. But today, honor yourself that you have been able, each one of us honor ourselves, that this book has come to be, and celebrate the fact that you've accomplished yet another wonderful thing in life to bring something that will highly impact you. And I'm sure that your family is very, very proud of you, because your roots stem from Iran, and your story and telling about how you came to this country is truly amazing, because some of us, we haven't had those kind of experiences. And sometimes we don't succeed at things in life, and we have our own little things that we have to overcome, but you strove for excellence for a long time now, and we thank you for leading by example. So
Thank you.
any other points about the book that anyone wants to share, something that struck their attention, something that really made an impact personally?
Sure. So I was touched early on in the project at Dr. Sean's extraordinary humility. And it goes all the way back, as he's mentioned, to his father and his mother, and even his brothers. But there's this beautiful moment in the book where Dr. Sean talks about one of the greatest joys for him is when a team member who might have started with him a year ago, who now, because of their own investment in excellence and working hard and being a part of the team, the magic for him is when the person comes and says, I bought my first car, or because of this job, I've been able to get a mortgage. And I get really emotional when I think about that, because I really hope people see the spirit of humility in the book. And there's a part where Dr. Sean talks about just have no ego. But also, I think his heart for the people, every single person that works with him. He's now has over 100 people on his team at these multiple practices. And so I just really believe that in this day and age of everybody talking about employee engagement, employee retention, and how important it is to be a great employer of choice, I just think the cornerstone of that for me is his humility, his servant leadership, and then also the fact that he just genuinely cares about the success long-term of every one of the people on his team.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I agree. And I'll second that. I'll say, the book itself is not only the journey, but it's the process, how to do it. He shares both. And the book is multifaceted. It's got, very practical advice. It has things to do that people can go implement right away. It addresses burnout. It addresses influence. It addresses quality of life. It addresses his how to run a practice. So the book is an easy read. It's actually an incredible book, the way that it's structured. And Stephen, thanks to you for a lot of that, in terms of how this was laid out in a way that people could digest it and really go back and use it. But I'll add to that is, on the humility piece, sometimes I think we look at people with tremendous success and we take for granted how much they have overcome and what an inspiration that is. And I think with Dr. Sean, one of the things that I love, Dr. Sean, and I may not have told you this, is that you're constantly giving away the credit. You never are sitting back going, yeah, I'm amazing. You're always like, thank you to this person. I couldn't have done it without this person. There's never a time where I've heard at any course that he puts on at Forum Institute or anywhere else where he doesn't give away all the credit. And although he drives people and he challenges people to rise to a certain level, it's fascinating for me because I think some of the most successful people do this, where they just continue to recognize that they're not there by themselves. They're there because of everyone around them. So I would say thank you to everyone who buys this book, because that too leads to this, and then it gives him more opportunity to give back even further. And I hope that you will benefit from the value in this book, because it's a really fun read, and it's a beautiful story. So and you can do a lot with it. So
It is. And
Thank you so much.
the generosity that is through every page of the book, but the extras that he adds between the workbook and the extra downloads, the Wheel of Life, the different things that are in this book that just really pull it all together. So it's so all encompassing, which is really the core of who you are, Dr. Sean. You've really covered every angle. So we celebrate with you today.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very appreciative of all of you guys. All
right. Well, let's conclude our interview for today. But for those that listen, we'll have the links. Be sure and pick a copy if you know somebody that has a dental practice, which most of us, that will listen to this. We know dentists everywhere. I've bought extra of these books so I could share them with those that I know. So it's a beautiful time, and take the time to just soak in the pleasure of finally of accomplishing a very big project to bring this to the world. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you.